So if you find yourself wondering, can I truly succeed? The answer is a resounding yes, yes, yes. You can and you will at Milpark. Milpark, we've got you. You've got this.
Now, welcome back to the morning show right here on ETV. Today, we're going to get into conversation around education. And joining us is Andrew Horsfall, who's the CEO of Milpark Education. And he's here to discuss Milpark's vision and its impact on the future of education in South Africa. Andrew, welcome to the morning show. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Let's talk about education and where you guys fit into the education landscape in South Africa. Firstly, I think maybe let's start off this conversation then with talking about Milpark Education, who you guys are and what you're about.
So Milpark Education is an online higher education institution.
Yeah.
We focus very specifically in areas relating to business, leadership and people, the financial services industry, which includes investments, banking, risk management, and professional accounting, so we train CAs. Obviously, we only deal with a specific section of education.
Yeah.
But I think in my mind, why I love that is because that is where we can make the most influence, because our graduates that are impacted by the experiences they have with us take those experiences into leadership in South Africa. And so in a small way, Milpark's playing an outsized role in being able to make an impact in this country.
Much bigger impact.
It's a meaningful thing for us.
Absolutely. Firstly, maybe take us through what you guys actually then believe about education in South Africa, and then how you guys fit into the context of helping South Africa then transcend its past.
Yeah, so I think, education is a major lever to address some of the issues that we've had in South Africa in the past.
Yeah.
I think what's important though is to sort of drill into the key issues and not to get stuck on superficial things that aren't necessarily going to have a meaningful impact.
Sure.
Students in South Africa that we typically see, they have amazing human potential that we need to unlock for them. And our role in Milpark is to figure out ways to unlock that. But when I say that academically insecure, what I'm meaning is that for whatever reason, whether it's finances, whether it's parents, whether it's the schooling systems that they've been through, they come with this sort of internal view of the world where they don't really believe in themselves. And the real problem here is that if you think about learning and trying to develop yourself, ultimately learning is about taking risks in your mind, small risks in your mind where you are willing to fail in order to learn and grow. And if your starting point is insecure, you feel like you're not good enough.
So help us then unpack what education or academic insecurity then is.
In our minds, academic insecurity is a way of thinking that says, A, I'm not good enough.
Sure.
It says, B, I need the right answers. I can't take risks. I can't fail. I don't necessarily have a fallback plan.
Sure.
I have a lot of people believing and depending on me, and I can't let them down, which means I need to get the answer that you or society has said I need to get. And the thing about education though is that you tend to need to be able to go through harder, longer, slower processes to properly develop your understanding.
Sure.
And if you're in a situation where you're stressed or you've got anxiety and you're being pushed and you've got pressures, you tend to want to just get the answer, which is essentially pass an exam or get a degree.
What would then a typical situation of that look like then in a classroom, for instance? If we are dealing with maybe a person that might just be struggling with academic insecurities, what sort of things are they likely to experience in a moment where then they are then able to identify that, oh my gosh, that's what Andrew was speaking about, there's that academic insecurity?
The challenge for them would probably be that they want to know the right answer. Instead of having their own views on what the answer is. So I think in their heart of hearts, they kind of keep saying, I don't believe in myself, I don't believe in what I know, what's the right answer here? And in actual fact, learning is about putting your own hypothesis of your own right answer down and essentially adapting your thinking to the context based on what you experience. And so you need to be able to be reflective and you be able to be okay to be wrong. Learning in reality is just a struggle. I often say to my students when I was teaching, I used to say to them, if you're not struggling, you actually aren't learning, because it's the act of struggling that actually causes the learning, because it's the process of changing the way you think in your mind. And that's hard. But if you're academically insecure, you see that as a failing, and then you try to avoid it. And I think for students that are reflecting and they're going, I don't like feeling uncomfortable because I think it's a failing in me, I would just encourage them to say, it's not you, it's normal. And I think, for them to start to believe in themselves and to understand that about themselves, and that sets them up for success.
How then do you assist learners in bridging that gap, right? Learners in then not being doubtful in themselves, learners in then taking the risk to be wrong in an instance and then push themselves to learn. How are you making that easier then for students? What is it that you guys are doing that's making the educational process a lot better?
Step one, you have to feel safe.
Sure.
If you think about the stereotypical educational institution, it's quite an intimidating environment.
Yeah.
You know, our environment, we want to create an environment that makes you feel safe. You walk in the door and you go, these people see me, these people understand me, these people are willing to get in the trenches with me and not just sit on the side and judge me. And I think the minute we can get a cultural context that enables that, we are part of the way there. And I think then it comes down to how we intentionally think about our teaching and learning and our design. And that's where online plays a major role, because online education in our world, and we only do online education, allows us to think very cleverly about how we resource.
Okay.
And so instead of potentially having all our sort of key resources delivering live lectures, we can design teaching and learning moments that are potentially asynchronous, where a student can just do it in their own time.
Okay.
But then we can use the resourcing that would have otherwise been used to deliver the live moments in the contact environment. We can use it to give back to the student in the sense of having people available to hear them, one-on-one environments, small group environments, discussion environments with the student in ways that makes them feel like they have a voice.
So if you are then bringing that support, I think it's absolutely amazing and phenomenal that you are doing so. For a person that's probably listening to our conversation right now and is feeling like, oh my goodness, I want to enroll my kid at Milpark Education, or there's a student that is telling their mom about Milpark Education, where can they get more information and how can they go about then being involved in Milpark Education?
We're online, so it's very easy to go to our website to get more information about us. But I think the bigger question for anybody is, are we the right fit? We have a very specific view of how education should be, and it is important that you resonate with that view. For us, you know, the main thing is that if you understand what we understand about education and you feel deeply connected to the tensions that I've just articulated, I think, you know, Milpark can definitely be a home for you. Online education is definitely going to be the future of education. I think it's a bit of the Wild West at the moment. Everyone's figuring it out. There's no one online education. Just from our side, we have a very specific view what our online education is going to be.
Absolutely. And just like that, you've heard from Andrew himself, the future of education really does look more toward being online. That was Andrew Horsfall speaking to us about Milpark Education. The information is there at your disposal. If you do want to enroll maybe with Milpark Education and you believe in what they stand for and you see their vision, then take a chance and make your education and learning life a whole lot better for yourself. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
So if you find yourself wondering, can I truly succeed? The answer is a resounding yes, yes, yes. You can and you will at Milpark. Milpark, we've got you. You've got this.